Draft nerds, welcome in. I am absolutely fired up for today's show. We are talking about the monstrous defensive tackle class in 2025. I've got a top 10 list we're going to break down. Going to focus more heavily on the top 5, but we're going to touch on all these guys. Defensive tackle might be my favorite position group in this entire draft class. I think when you look at defensive line, the defensive front as a whole, that's certainly where I'm most excited. Edge, defensive tackle. There's a lot of different body types, a lot of different projections in terms of where they're going to play across the defensive front here with these defensive tackles, interior defensive linemen. But defense as a whole in this class, I think it's really exciting. You talk about cornerback, you talk about safety, nickel. There's even some off-ball linebackers to get excited about, and certainly defensive tackle, edge. It's an awesome group. So we're going to go ahead and dive into it. I honestly think when you look at this top 5, I would not be surprised if all of them end up being first-round picks. I really wouldn't. If I had to make a bet, I would probably say there's going to be 5 first-round picks at defensive line, interior defensive line. And that's quite the number. So we're going to dive into this top 10. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. So at number 10, we have got Alfred Collins out of Texas. He's 6'5". He is 320 pounds. I currently have a second round evaluation on him. 23 years old. So not the youngest prospect, but not a big deal being 23 entering the NFL. I mean, by the time you get to your second contract, you should be entering your prime, right? So Alfred Collins, he is a taller interior defensive lineman, one of the taller guys we have on this list. He's got good length on the interior. I think his ability to lock out and use his strength as a run defender is really impressive. I think that there's some straight line explosiveness, certainly. I don't think he's the most twitchy or flexible dude out there, but at 6'5", 320, he has great size, great length. He's a tremendous run defender at Texas, and there's been some supremely talented interior defensive linemen coming through that Texas program, so Collins hasn't always gotten the most run as of late, but this year he's been a dominant run defender. And again, he is able to use his great length, and he's pretty explosive off the ball. Not elite in that regard, but he shows flashes in that regard. But he uses his length and his strength to lock out offensive linemen, and he can stack and shed with the best of them. He can read where the run's going and, decide which gap he needs to hit, right? So I think Alfred Collins does a tremendous job for them. As a pass rusher, I see some upside. I do. I think that he could potentially develop into more of a pass rusher than he currently is with his straight line explosiveness and with his length. But he's certainly more of the run defense stalwart right now than he is a pass rusher. Dante Corleone comes in at number 9. He's also a second round grade for me. Now the note for him is he did deal with blood clots over the summer, so that's something you have to vet as a football team. But he's 6'1", 320 pounds. So, you've got Collins is 6'5", 320. Corleone is 6'1", 320. So obviously Corleone is much more a refrigerator type of build. Same weight, but 4 inches shorter. He's 22 years old. Again, second round grade for me right now. He's going to be a nose tackle at the next level. And I think that he has the versatility to rush from the 3-tech spot as well. Like he's explosive. He's got great hands. He's powerful, great run defender, but I think has a lot of pass rush impact as well. So I think Dante Corleone, not going to be, the guy with the best length, the best measurables, maybe even the best athleticism when it comes to testing, but I think he's just a gamer, really stout, really physical, great hands, violent football player who does have some explosiveness and juice at his size. So I like Dante Corleone a lot. Shamar Turner comes in next. He's about 6'4", I believe, 300 pounds. He's played edge. He's played interior defensive line at Texas A&M. They've just got a bunch of big dudes on that front. Nick Scorton, Shamar Turner, Shamar Stewart. He is 21 years old. He also has a second round valuation for me. Shamar Turner, the pass rush, I think can come certainly for him. Like he has unbelievable physical athleticism at 300 pounds, but right now he's really more of just that consistent presence, that really reads the game really well. I think he's a smart football player, instinctive. He's always communicating pre-snap and seeing what the offense is doing, understanding how they're trying to attack, and does a really good job. I don't think he's like an elite pass rusher. I don't think he's an elite run defender, but he does everything at a fairly high level, and I think that his arrow is pointing up clearly. You just want to see a little bit more production overall from a Shamar Turner, but somebody who I think is going to be a quality starter at the next level. Probably a three tech or a big defensive end, but somebody who I think you can get some versatility out of and has some flexibility, some explosiveness, good athleticism. So I'm excited about his projection. At number 7, we've got TJ Sanders, who is 6'3", 290 pounds, out of USC, South Carolina. He's 21 years old. I also have a second round grade on him. He is that three tech, right? I mean, he is undersized at 290 pounds. He has put on a lot of weight since he got to South Carolina. He came out of high school at about 275 pounds. So I think he's continuing to add weight. I think he can continue to get bigger as he gets into the NFL. He's got good length at his size, and he does a good job of locking defenders out, which helps him in run defense in a big way, as he is undersized, utilizing that length to be able to read and react. And then as a pass rusher, he is super explosive off the ball. He's able to get into your chest quickly. He has a bevy of pass rush moves, an arsenal. I mean, I've seen him hit double swims. I've seen him hit cross chops, swipes. TJ Sanders is really exciting as a pass rusher, as a three tech prospect. Again, the only real thing I think you could point to is the fact that he is undersized at 290 pounds, but really fun to watch. Highly encourage y'all to check him out. At number 6, and I hate having him at number 6 because he's really, really good. This whole list, I think I can say that about. Like, these guys in different classes would certainly be higher on the list. But at number 6, Kenneth Grant out of Michigan. He's another second round grade for me. He's 6'3", 339 pounds. This is a big boy. He is a nose tackle, and he's a good one at that. He is super stout against the run, has a little bit of pass rush juice, more flexibility than you would expect at 339 pounds, a little bit more explosiveness. But overall, you're drafting him to play nose tackle, to eat up blocks, and then anything you get from a pass production standpoint, I think, is a bonus. I don't know that he's going to be on the field in clear pass rushing situations just due to his size, and you're probably going to have guys that can give you a little bit more juice trying to penetrate the pocket and affect the quarterback. But Kenneth Grant, he does have some balance to his game, but certainly leans more towards the run defense, nose tackle part of it for your football team, which is why I have a 2 on him. I think his tape is fantastic. Deone Walker, like I just don't know that if you're primarily drafting someone to be a run defender, I don't know that first round really should be in the cards. Like, nose tackle, is that a position that should be taken in the first round unless they are just an otherworldly prospect? I'm not sure, but I do think Kenneth Grant has the chance to go in the first round with his skill set. Deone Walker is at number 5, and this is the most volatile projection to the next level. He's 6'6", 345 pounds. He's only 20 years old. I have a second round grade on him, but he could easily be one of the most dominant guys in this class, regardless of position. I think he could also flame out potentially. He has a lot of room to grow in terms of he's 345 pounds, but he doesn't carry his weight all that well. He is top heavy. He does not have a super powerful lower half, so that needs to be improved in my opinion. He's also plays just extremely upright. His pad level is a problem, bar none, against the run. But when you talk about his pass rushing ability and his potential as a run defender, it's there. But as a pass rusher right now, he has a variety of hand moves. He is explosive off the ball. Like, you should not be as explosive as Deone Walker is at 6'6" and 345 pounds. You just shouldn't. It's crazy some of the stuff he can do and some of the stuff he has put on tape over the last couple years at Kentucky. But it's way too inconsistent. He's a guy that you're excited about the potential, you're nervous about the floor. So that's where I'm kind of at with Deone Walker. But if he hits, I mean, he could be one of the best. He absolutely could. Derek Harmon, 6'5", 310 pounds, second round grade for me out of Oregon. Harmon is to me, he's a three tech. Like I don't think you want him. I don't think you want to utilize his skill set as someone that's trying to eat up double teams and play nose. He's explosive off the ball. He's got good length. I think he does a pretty good job of locking out offensive linemen as well with his length, being able to stack and shed, but using his explosiveness to get in to the chest or to use his hands to get around. And he's got decent flexibility. His size, pretty well-rounded overall interior defensive line prospect, Derek Harmon is, but I think he projects mostly as a three-tech type of player and someone who should be an impactful pass rusher at the next level from the interior and someone who you don't feel is a complete liability against the run. Derek Harmon there. So these two guys, I think Deion Walker could be a first-round pick. I think Kenneth Grant, Derek Harmon, those three could all be first-round picks. I really think the next three should be first-round picks. And that's Tyleik Williams, 6'3", 327 pounds, out of Ohio State. He's 21 years old. I have a first-round grade on him. Tyleik, he is, I think, at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, he is the best at disengaging from blocks consistently. Whether he's using his explosiveness, quickness, and flexibility at his size, which his flexibility at his size is pretty rare, 330 pounds. I honestly think he should be more of a three tech than a nose tackle. I think he can play nose tackle for you. So I love that versatility. But with his flexibility, explosiveness, and his ability to, again, disengage from blocks in a flash, destroy blocks in a flash, using his hands, flexibility, explosiveness, I think he should be trying to get into the backfield and create disruption more often than not. So pretty rare skill set. Again, you would say 6'3", 327, that's got to be a nose tackle. But to me, Tyleik Williams is a versatile player who can play nose for you, but really probably is best utilized as someone who, again, is trying to use those athletic traits, use those hands to create disruption. Walter Nolan is at number 2 for me. Another first-round grade, 6'3", 305 pounds. So one of the lighter players we've looked at here, but he was the former top overall recruit in his draft class 3 years ago. Originally committed to Texas A&M and played there. Could you imagine if he was still on that defensive front with Shamar Turner, Shamar Stewart, and Nick Scorton? But he's now at Ole Miss, and he's playing great football for the Rebels, part of that defensive front that's absolutely nasty with, him and Jared Ivey and Princely Umamielen and Pegas as well. So Nolan, 3-tech, this is almost like the prototype 3-tech. Great length, the most explosive player off the ball in this class. Walter Nolan is at defensive line, in my opinion. And he, again, like the rest of these guys we've talked about at 3-tech, has a variety of hand moves, knows how to utilize them at an extremely high level. He explodes off the football. He's got great flexibility and quickness, lateral agility. He's got it all. I think Walter Nolan is going to be a high impact 3-tech at the next level. I'm excited about it. And then Mason Graham comes in at number 1. He's the undisputed top defensive tackle, interior defensive lineman in this class. He's 6'4", 320 pounds, similar to Tyleik Williams. And Williams has got a little bit more weight on him, but I think he can play nose if you want him to, but going to be best utilized as a 3-tech. Trying to create disruption because he's got it all. He's explosive. His coolest thing is his flexibility. I mean, he has the flexibility, I think, to play 5-tech, to really actually play defensive end. But I don't think you want him doing that consistently. If you want him to do against the run, if you want to do him in special packages, maybe in certain matchups, certainly. But you get him lined up against guards one-on-one, trying to create disruption, and Mason Graham is going to be an absolute beast at the next level. A very good run defender. He's stout. But then you get that pass rush going, and he's got all the hand moves in the world. He's got great natural leverage, in my opinion. I think he's able to play low with that flexibility. He's got the strength. He's got the length, all the hand moves that you could ask for, and someone who I think you can move up and down the defensive line to play at an extremely high level. 3-down player, been a stalwart at Michigan for the last couple years, and To me, if he was able to enter the draft last year, would have been a top pick. Still going to be a top pick this year. He's my, along with Will Johnson, Abdul Carter, Mason Graham is right there at the top for me. And obviously Travis Hunter, if you're considering him corner, right there at the top in terms of those blue chip type defensive players in this draft class. So I can't wait to see how the rest of the season plays out for these guys, how you see them perform throughout the pre-draft process, and then where they land. This is going to be a defensive front class that can really help out some NFL teams that are in need of guys that can help them stop the run, get after quarterbacks. You know, with so much too high and so much light boxes, getting guys that can really eat up blocks and play the run at a high level is going to be paramount. Maybe that could see a guy like a Kenneth Grant go even higher than I expect. Maybe a guy like Alfred Collins could go even higher than I expect. So again, fascinating the way the game is trending. Love this class. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Y'all have a good one.